The suburban high school looks picture perfect. Students stroll between classes, laughing, talking, and carrying on with the mundane normalcy of school life. The atmosphere feels calm, serene, and full of harmony. Everything looks perfect on the surface, but beneath it, there are stirrings of something different, something unseen. The camera pans over the students, setting the scene for a deeper story waiting to unfold. Lily and Emma walk together down the hall, their close friendship evident. They've been best friends forever. Laughter comes easy between them, and they share a bond that everyone admires. Their inseparability is clear. Lily's bold energy complements Emma's quieter, more reserved personality. Their history is shared in every glance, every word they speak. They appear to have it all together, the perfect friendship that everyone around them envies. But beneath the surface, cracks are starting to form. Emma's discomfort grows as Lily's increasing assertiveness takes over. In moments when Lily speaks excitedly about new plans or decisions, Emma feels a growing unease. She starts to question her role in the friendship, feeling overlooked and overshadowed. There's no fight, no confrontation, just a subtle discomfort that neither girl acknowledges yet. Lily stands out, always the center of attention, always the one to take charge. Her confidence fills any room she walks into. She's spontaneous, impulsive, and everyone notices her. She's the life of the party and doesn't mind taking risks, leading their adventures without looking back. Her energy is contagious, but her words can sometimes be sharp, especially when she speaks without thinking. Emma, on the other hand, is quieter. She's loyal, content to follow Lily, always supporting her. She's more introverted, reserved, and happy in the background. But lately, Emma feels stifled in this role. While she loves Lily, she's starting to wonder if her own voice matters. Emma holds her frustrations in, but they're there, bubbling under the surface. At lunch, a small argument happens. Lily makes a biting remark about Emma's recent choices, and Emma's response is hurt, though she hides it. The tension is palpable, a crack in the foundation of their friendship. Emma's silent reaction speaks volumes, and though Lily doesn't realize it, something has shifted. The silence between them becomes heavier. Both girls pretend everything is fine, but their interactions feel forced. They continue to attend social events, but the emotional distance is undeniable. The cracks are no longer hidden. They're visible, though neither girl addresses them. Lily and Emma pretend everything is normal, but they both know it isn't. Their friendship is no longer the carefree bond it once was. The calm is temporary. The storm is coming, and it's only a matter of time before the truth surfaces. The bell rings, signaling the end of the school day. Students pour out of classrooms, chatting with friends. Among them are Lily and Emma, walking side by side, but there's an obvious distance between them now. Lily talks excitedly about a new guy she's been texting, her voice animated, while Emma nods along, but her smile feels forced. She watches as Lily's attention shifts further away from their friendship, consumed by her romantic interests and her social status. Emma's voice fades into the background, her opinions overlooked. She's used to this, but it hurts more each day. The once vibrant and equal partnership they had now feels lopsided. Emma's feelings of isolation grow. Lily, so wrapped up in her own world, doesn't even seem to notice the subtle shift. It's like Emma has become an afterthought, someone to tag along with, never the center of attention. Her frustration bubbles up, but she swallows it. She's afraid of rocking the boat, of losing Lily. As the days pass, Emma begins to seek refuge elsewhere. She finds herself hanging out with other groups at lunch, chatting with people she barely knows just to feel seen. It's not the same as her bond with Lily, but it fills the void, even if just temporarily. There's a boy in her English class who asks how she's doing, and for the first time in a while, someone listens when she talks. She starts to feel a glimmer of relief. Even if it feels wrong to replace the person she's always trusted with others. At night, when Lily is too busy with her new life to text her back, Emma pours her heart out to a new friend, Sarah, telling her things she's never said out loud. It feels good, real. But when Emma puts her phone down, a pang of guilt sets in. She's drifting, and she knows it. But she's not sure how to stop. Lily, blissfully unaware, continues to chase popularity. The emotional gap between Emma and Lily grows wider. Their conversations, once effortless, now feel strained. Lily talks about her latest plans. With the boy she likes, Emma nodding along but feeling invisible. They sit together in the library, Emma trying to contribute to a group project. But Lily barely listens, distracted by her phone. Emma's frustration tightens in her chest, but she keeps it to herself. She doesn't want to start a fight, doesn't want to seem needy. So she holds her tongue, letting the silence speak louder than any words could. The awkward pauses feel like an echo of everything they're not saying. One Friday night, the school hosts a party. Everyone is there, laughing and dancing under the dim lights. Emma watches from the sidelines, unsure if she's having fun anymore. She spots Lily in the crowd, talking with one of the popular boys. Emma, feeling a strange tug in her stomach, moves closer, trying not to intrude. But then she hears it. Lily's voice, light and carefree, spilling a secret that Emma shared with her in confidence weeks ago. Yeah, Emma totally freaked out when she found out her mom was dating again. I had to talk her down. Can you imagine? Lily laughs, and Emma's heart sinks. The secret, her personal insecurity, her fear of being overlooked, her mother's new relationship, was now something Lily had shared with someone outside their friendship. Something Emma had trusted her with. The betrayal is not just in the fact that the secret was shared, but in the way Lily said it. Like it was no big deal. Just another casual conversation. Emma freezes, feeling the ground beneath her shift. A coldness spreads through her veins. Emma's world shatters in that moment. The hurt she feels is sharp and raw, something deeper than she thought was possible. The girl, who she thought would never hurt her, has done the one thing she could never forgive. She's betrayed her trust. Her mind races, heart pounding in disbelief. She's too stunned to speak, too angry to approach Lily. The girl she once called her best friend now feels like a stranger. Emma's once unwavering loyalty feels foolish now, replaced with a crushing weight of hurt. As she slips quietly away from the crowd, the noise of the party blurs around her, her head spinning with the implications of what she's just learned. She was never as important as she thought, just a side note in Lily's world. Later that night, Emma sits in her room, tears spilling down her cheeks. The anger that was once simmering inside her now erupts like a storm. How could Lily do this? After everything they've shared, everything Emma had trusted her with, Lily just tossed it all aside like it didn't matter. She stares at her phone, considering texting Lily, but no words come. She's had enough. Emma knows she can't keep this inside anymore. She has to confront Lily, even if it means losing her. Even if it means facing the truth about their friendship. Emma makes a decision. She's no longer willing to stay silent. It's time to take control of her own emotions, her own life. She's done pretending everything is fine. The next few days are filled with avoidance. Emma and Lily no longer sit next to each other in class. Emma's eyes avoid Lily's, and Lily's attempts at conversation are met with short, clipped responses. Every glance, every interaction feels like it's charged with unspoken words too heavy to carry. Emma can't look at Lily without feeling the sting of betrayal. Lily, on the other hand, grows defensive. She can sense something's wrong, but doesn't understand why Emma is being so distant. "What's up with you?" she asks, but Emma only shrugs, keeping the pain locked inside. The silence grows thicker with each passing day. Neither of them is willing to apologize, each trapped in their own pride. Lily thinks Emma is overreacting, that she's just being childish. Emma believes Lily should have known better, that their bond deserved more respect than this. Neither girl is ready to admit fault, and the rift between them deepens, making reconciliation feel impossible. The tension lingers in the air, suffocating and inevitable. Emma and Lily both feel it, the distance between them growing wider with each word left unspoken. They both know something needs to happen, but neither knows how to make the first move. The calm before the storm is suffocating. Emma's heart races every time she sees Lily. And though Lily tries to ignore the coldness between them, her defenses are slowly crumbling. Something is going to break. It's only a matter of time. The senior year group project is supposed to be a chance for students to shine together, to collaborate, and show their teamwork. But for Emma and Lily, it's anything but that. The teacher, Mrs. Lawrence, smiles as she announces the project partners. "Lily and Emma," she says brightly, unknowingly setting the stage for the inevitable confrontation. Emma glances at Lily, her stomach twisting with the knowledge that they are being forced together, despite the distance growing between them. Emma's mind is already racing with thoughts of how she can salvage this, how she can prove that she's still committed to the friendship, even though it feels like everything is slipping away. Determined to show that she can handle it, Emma begins preparing the project days in advance, gathering research, organizing notes, and brainstorming ideas. But when Lily doesn't respond to the group chat or offer any input, Emma can't help but feel a knot of frustration tightening in her chest. She's doing all the work, while Lily remains distant, as though this project is the least of her concerns. The day of the first meeting at Emma's house arrives. Emma waits by the door, glancing at the clock every few minutes. She's been ready for an hour, but Lily is nowhere to be seen. Just as Emma's frustration reaches its peak, Lily arrives, casually strolling in like nothing is wrong. Lily glances at her phone, offering a half-hearted apology. "Sorry, I was at this party and lost track of time," she says, as if it's no big deal. She doesn't even seem bothered by her tardiness. Emma feels her chest tighten with anger and disappointment. She had worked so hard to make sure everything was in order, while Lily was off having fun. When Lily admits she didn't bring any materials, Emma's heart sinks. It feels like a slap in the face. Like Lily doesn't care at all about this project or about her. "I've already done most of it," Emma says, her voice tight. "It's not like I had anything better to do." Lily just shrugs. "Well, I guess I'll just add my ideas now." Emma's patience snaps. She can't hold it in any longer. "Are you serious, Lily?" Emma's voice cracks as she stands up, her face flushed with anger. I've been working on this for days, and you just show up whenever, expecting everything to be perfect. You don't even care about this project or about me. Lily stands frozen, staring at Emma. What's your problem? She snaps. It's just a project. Calm down. No, it's not just the project. Emma yells, her voice shaking with years of pent-up frustration. It's everything. You've been ignoring me. You've been treating me like I don't matter. You've been using me, Lily, and I've let you. I've let you walk all over me for way too long. Lily's eyes narrow, her voice cold. You're overreacting. Maybe if you weren't so sensitive, this wouldn't be such a big deal. The words sting, but they only fuel Emma's anger. You don't get it, do you? You never do. You've been so caught up in your own world that you didn't even notice when I started fading into the background. I'm just a backup for you, someone to fill in the gaps when you need me. The argument is escalating, both girls' voices rising as the hurt and anger become unbearable. In a sudden, impulsive act of rage, Lily shoves Emma hard. Emma stumbles back, her feet losing balance, and crashes into a nearby table. The sharp impact to her head knocks the breath out of her, and she hits the floor with a painful thud. For a moment, the room is silent. Emma's vision blurs, her heart racing with disbelief. Did that really just happen? Did Lily just push her? Lily stands frozen, wide-eyed, her hand trembling at her side. The anger in her eyes is gone, replaced by a flicker of regret, but it's too late. Emma touches her forehead, feeling the sting of the blow. But it's the emotional damage that cuts the deepest. Her trust, the fragile thread that held the friendship together, has been shattered beyond repair. She stands up slowly, looking at Lily with a mix of hurt and disbelief. You just crossed a line, Lily. I can't believe you did that. Lily opens her mouth to say something, but no words come out. She's not sure what to say, how to apologize for something that can't be undone. Tears sting Emma's eyes, but she holds them back, swallowing the lump in her throat. I can't do this anymore. It's over. Her voice cracks as she speaks the words, and she feels something in her heart break. With those words, Emma storms out, leaving Lily standing there, paralyzed by the weight of what she's done. Emma can't keep the pain inside. She talks to a few classmates the next day, sharing what happened. The gossip spreads quickly, like wildfire. Soon, everyone knows about the argument, about Lily's betrayal. Whispers fill the hallways. Emma and Lily are no longer the best friends everyone admired. Now, they're the subject of judgment and gossip. The foundation of their friendship, once so solid, is now a shattered image. As the story spreads, the school divides into factions. Some students rally behind Emma, angry on her behalf, while others try to justify Lily's actions, blaming Emma for being too sensitive. Emma feels the weight of the judgment on her shoulders. People stare at her in the hallways, some with sympathy, others with disdain. It's as if their entire friendship has become a spectacle, and everyone is watching. What started as a personal betrayal now grows darker. Emma, still hurting, begins to withdraw further, seeking revenge in the form of silent treatment and cutting remarks. Lily, meanwhile, tries to win back the social support she's lost, subtly manipulating others to turn the tables in her favor. The emotional turmoil that began as a broken friendship now turns into something uglier, a battle for control and pride. Neither girl is willing to back down. The reality sets in. Their friendship is gone. It's not just a rough patch they can work through. The trust is broken, the damage done. Neither of them can go back to what they once had. Emma walks away for good, and Lily is left standing alone, knowing that this is the end of an era. Their paths will never cross in the same way again. The future, once shared, is now a separate, lonely road. The moment of no return has arrived. Emma sits on the edge of her bed, her phone lying untouched beside her. The room feels smaller now, as if the walls are closing in on her. She stares blankly at the screen, the silence deafening. It's been weeks since the fight with Lily, but the weight of it is still there, pressing down on her chest. The loss is crushing, like something precious has been ripped from her life. She feels conflicted. She knows she was the one who walked away. She knows she was right to stand up for herself, but the guilt still gnaws at her. Was there another way? Could she have salvaged their friendship? The more she thinks about it, the more the questions swirl, pulling her deeper into a storm of confusion. Emma's friends have tried to reach out, but she's pushed them away. The idea of being around anyone, especially people who once knew her and Lily as a pair, feels like too much. She pulls the covers over her head, trying to drown out the noise in her mind. It's easier to be alone, to wallow in the ache of missing someone who once meant everything to her. The isolation is suffocating, but it's all she can do to cope. Lily stands in front of the mirror, fixing her hair with a practiced smile. She's surrounded by new friends now, people who don't know the history between her and Emma. She's managed to keep up the facade of being perfectly fine. But inside, something is hollow. The victory of ending the friendship feels empty. She tried to feel liberated, like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders, but all she feels is a deep void that nothing seems to fill. She watches her reflection, wondering when the pain of losing Emma will stop stinging so badly. At school, people tell her she made the right choice, that Emma was holding her back. But Lily can't help but compare every new friend to the bond she had with Emma. None of them fit. None of them feel the way Emma did. Lily's phone buzzes on her desk and she glances at it quickly. Another group chat message. She forces a smile and taps out a reply. But deep down, she wishes it was Emma's name lighting up the screen. She sighs and shuts the phone off, trying to ignore the ache that lingers no matter how many new faces surround her. As the days pass, Emma's struggle becomes harder to hide. She doesn't want to admit how badly the fallout has affected her, but it's impossible to ignore. She's irritable, short-tempered with her classmates, and distant. The days blend together in a haze of exhaustion and confusion. She spends most of her time at home, staring out the window, wondering where everything went wrong. Her self-doubt is growing like a poison. She questions whether she could have been a better friend if maybe she pushed Lily too far. The anger she felt toward her is still there, but it's tangled up with a lingering sadness of what she's lost. Why didn't Lily fight harder for their friendship? Why didn't they talk it through? Emma stands in front of the mirror one evening, looking at her reflection. She barely recognizes the girl staring back at her. Her eyes are tired, the bags under them darker than usual. Her mind spirals, questioning everything. Was I too harsh? Did I ruin something beautiful? She feels herself slipping further away from the confident person she once was. Lily scrolls through her social media feed, looking at pictures of Emma with new people. It stings more than she's willing to admit. She forces herself to look away, trying to act like it doesn't bother her. But it does. She tries to focus on her own group of friends, laughing at some joke she doesn't find funny. But all she can think about is Emma. How easy it was to talk to her. How Emma always knew how to make her laugh when things felt hard. Lily knows she shouldn't feel this way. She was the one who ended things. But seeing Emma move on, seeing her happy without her, fills Lily with an anger and jealousy she doesn't know how to control. Why am I so obsessed with her? Lily mutters under her breath, feeling the frustration build up inside her. She tries to bury the regret, to convince herself it doesn't matter. But deep down, she knows she's not over it. She's not over Emma, and she's not over the emptiness that still lingers. The tension between Emma and Lily is no longer just a private matter. At school, it's clear to everyone that something is wrong. Their once close group of friends is divided. Some of them still talk to Emma, offering comfort and support, while others are loyal to Lily, backing her up in her decision. It's like there's no middle ground anymore. Emma walks down the hallway, her eyes avoiding the stares of those who once smiled at her in the halls. Every whisper feels like a knife. She overhears someone mention her name, and for a second, she wonders if they're talking about the fight with Lily. She can't escape it. Everywhere she turns, there's something to remind her of the friendship she's lost. Lily, too, can't ignore the tension. Every time she sees Emma in the hallway, a cold knot forms in her stomach. The air between them is thick with unspoken words and accusations. Their old friends move cautiously around them as if afraid to take sides, unsure of what to say. The once harmonious atmosphere of their group has turned into a battleground, and the unease grows with each passing day. Days turn into weeks, and Emma's desperation for resolution intensifies. She can't seem to stop thinking about Lily, about what happened and what could have been. Her desire to fix everything to make it right turns into an obsession. She constantly replays the arguments in her head, wondering if she missed an opportunity to stop things from spiraling. She knows that with college just around the corner, she should be focusing on her future. But all she can think about is how the mess with Lily might ruin everything. What if the gossip about their fight gets to the wrong people? What if it affects her chances of getting into college? It's all-consuming, and Emma can't escape it. Every waking moment is filled with worry and doubt. One afternoon, Emma overhears a conversation in the hallway, something that sends a chill down her spine. A girl from her class is talking about rumors that Lily has been spreading. The whispers suggest that Lily's been telling people that Emma's application to college isn't trustworthy, casting doubts on her character and her future. Emma's blood runs cold. The betrayal stings deeper than anything she's felt before. She's been questioning everything for weeks, but now she knows it's more than just emotional damage. Lily is actively trying to sabotage her future. Her hands tremble as she confronts the reality of what's happening. This isn't just a fight anymore. This is about her dreams, her future, and she feels trapped, caught in a situation that's spiraling out of control. Emma can feel the breaking point coming. She's at her limit. The rumors, the tension, the fear of losing everything she's worked for, are pushing her to the edge. She knows she has to confront Lily. She can't wait any longer. Her heart races as she plans the confrontation. This is it. There will be no turning back. The day of the confrontation arrives, and Emma can't shake the feeling of impending doom. She's bracing herself for the emotional chaos that's about to unfold. Her stomach twists, but she knows this is the only way to save herself. Both girls are caught in the web of pain, guilt, and unresolved anger. The final clash feels inevitable. And Emma can't help but wonder, after all of this, will there be anything left of what they once had? Or is it truly over? The sun has set, casting the school grounds in shadows. Emma stands at the edge of the courtyard, where she and Lily used to sit and talk for hours, laughing without a care in the world. Now the place feels cold, empty. The air is thick with tension as Emma waits. Her heart beats in her chest like a drum. She knows this moment is coming, this confrontation, but she isn't sure she's ready. Lily appears from behind a row of trees, her posture stiff, her face guarded. She looks different, angrier, more distant. They stare at each other in silence for a long moment, both unsure of where to begin, both clinging to the remnants of a friendship that now feels like a lifetime ago. I didn't want it to end like this, Emma finally says, her voice barely above a whisper. Lily's lips curl into a tight, bitter smile. Then you should have fought harder, Emma. You should have known where you stood. Emma flinches at the words, but the anger inside her starts to rise. You think this is my fault? Her voice cracks as she steps closer. You think I wanted this? To lose you? To lose everything? Lily takes a step back, eyes narrowed. You never cared about what I wanted. You only cared about yourself. The words hit Emma like a slap, and the floodgates open. She feels the rush of everything she's kept inside. The hurt, the betrayal, the guilt. And before she can stop herself, she's shouting. I did care, Lily. I always cared, but you... Her voice breaks as the weight of it all crashes down on her. She's so close to losing it, her hands shaking, her heart racing. The argument escalates, words flying between them, sharp and unforgiving. Emma's chest is tight, her breath's ragged. She can't take it anymore. In a flash of raw emotion, her eyes dart to the ground, and she sees a sharp metal object, a broken piece of a fence post, lying there, almost like an invitation. Without thinking, Emma grabs it. It feels cold and heavy in her hand. For a moment, everything slows down. She doesn't know what she's doing, but her mind is consumed with a singular thought. Make it stop. Stop, Lily yells, seeing the object in Emma's hand. Don't. But it's too late. The pressure of everything, of the anger, the betrayal, the months of pain, pushes Emma past the breaking point. She swings the metal object toward Lily. The action born from desperation and fury, not intent. Lily collapses to the ground, a scream caught in her throat. The world goes silent. Emma stands frozen, staring at her friend crumpled on the ground. Her heart stops and everything she thought she knew crumbles. The reality of what she's just done hits her like a freight train. She looks at the blood on her hands, her mind reeling, unable to process. Her breaths come in sharp gasps, panic seizing her body. Lily, she screams, her voice hoarse. She falls to her knees beside her, her hands trembling as she tries to stop the bleeding. But it's too much. Her hands are slick with blood, and she can't stop shaking long enough to do anything right. Tears flood her eyes as she realizes that she's gone too far. She made a mistake that can never be undone. Please, please wake up, Emma sobs, her voice breaking as she desperately presses her hands to the wound. The panic claws at Emma's throat, choking her. Help! She screams, her voice echoing through the empty school grounds. Her hands are useless, slipping in the blood. Somebody, please, help her. Every second feels like an eternity. She watches Lily's face, hoping for some sign that she's okay. But there's nothing. The only sound is Emma's frantic sobs as she tries to stop the bleeding. The weight of what she's done, of the irreversible damage, presses down on her. It's too much to bear, and she knows she can't fix it. By the time the sirens sound, it's already too late. The school's quiet, peaceful community has been shattered. Police officers, paramedics, and school staff rush to the scene, their eyes wide with shock. They try to take control, but the chaos is overwhelming. Emma, her hands still stained with blood, is trembling, her voice barely a whisper as she's pulled away from Lily. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to hurt her. She repeats over and over, her guilt consuming her. The whispers spread quickly through the school, the horror of what's just happened sinking in. How could this happen? How could two best friends end up here? The weight of betrayal, of violence, hangs heavy in the air, and the community will never be the same. Lily is rushed to the hospital, her condition critical. The doctors work frantically, their faces grim as they try to save her life. Emma's world is spinning, her fate now tied to the life of the girl she once called her best friend. Time drags on, and all Emma can do is wait, her mind racing. She can't undo what she's done, but the possibility of losing Lily entirely haunts her every second. As Emma is led away in handcuffs, her mind is numb. The reality of her actions hits her like a brick wall. She has no idea where her life goes from here, but she knows it will never be the same. The community's judgment is swift, and as she's taken to the police car, the weight of her guilt presses down on her. She had everything, a future, a friendship, a life ahead of her, but now it's all been shattered by one moment of rage. The school will never forget this day. The bond between Emma and Lily, once a shining example of friendship, is now a painful memory. The wounds are deep, physical in Lily, emotional in everyone who knew them. The dreams they once shared, the hopes for the future, now stand in ruins, overshadowed by the tragedy of what happens when betrayal turns to bloodshed. The friendship is gone, and nothing will ever be the same again. The courtroom is packed. Emma, once full of promise and dreams, sits at the defendant's table, her hands trembling in her lap. The harsh fluorescent lights seem to buzz around her, emphasizing the crushing weight of what she's done. Her parents sit behind her, their faces drawn, unable to offer comfort. The room feels suffocating, as if the walls themselves are closing in. The prosecutor's voice cuts through the silence. The defendant, Emma Harris, is accused of assaulting her former best friend, Lily Adams, leading to severe injuries. The consequences of her actions have not only destroyed her friendship, but have left a community in shock and disbelief. Emma stares down at her hands, feeling every eye in the room on her. She can't look at anyone. Her teachers, her classmates, the people she once considered friends. The shame is suffocating. The weight of the law presses on her shoulders, and the once promising future she dreamed of feels like a distant memory. Her regret is palpable. She wishes she could rewind time to take back the violent impulse that led to this moment, but there's no undoing the damage. The words from the prosecutor ring in her ears, the reality sinking in with every passing second. She's lost everything. Outside the courtroom, the world feels cold. Emma walks through the halls of her school, but it's not the same anymore. The whispers follow her like a shadow, and everywhere she turns, she's met with cold glares. Her classmates, once her friends, now avoid her. She can feel their judgment in every glance, and it stings like an open wound. There's no comfort to be found anymore. Her world has turned upside down, and the people she once felt closest to have turned their backs on her. The shame is unbearable, and as she passes by familiar faces, all she can think of is how she's lost their trust, their respect. She doesn't just miss Lily. She misses the way things used to be, before her actions tore everything apart. Lily lies in a hospital bed, her body bruised and battered, the physical scars reminders of the violence that changed everything. But the physical pain is only part of the story. The emotional scars are deeper, harder to heal. She stares out the window, wondering how her life became this shattered version of itself. Her mind keeps circling back to the friendship she lost. She never expected things to end like this. What did I do wrong? She wonders. The guilt weighs heavy on her heart. She can't escape the feeling that somehow her actions led to this moment. Lily struggles with her own demons, torn between her pain and the lingering memories of the girl she used to trust more than anyone. Lily's recovery is slow, not just physically but emotionally. She tries to rebuild her life, but the shadow of betrayal is hard to shake. Every new friendship she forms feels hollow, incomplete. The trust she once had in people is fractured. The emotional pain of what happened lingers, and she wonders if she'll ever be able to forgive Emma or herself. Her journey is filled with doubt. But in the quiet moments, she begins to understand that healing will take time. The road ahead is long, and though she's determined to move forward, she can't forget the friendship that was lost or the girl who made her feel so betrayed. Alone in her cell, Emma's mind races. The days blur together as she lies on her cot, staring at the cold, grey walls. She wonders if things could have been different. Could she have controlled her anger? Could she have been brave enough to face the problems in her friendship before they boiled over? She replays the moment over and over. The sharp metal object in her hand, the look on Lily's face. The weight of her impulsive actions sits like a stone in her chest. She knows there's no going back. She wonders if she'll ever forgive herself for what she did. The story ends in the quiet aftermath of devastation. Both Emma and Lily are left to pick up the pieces of their broken lives. Emma facing the consequences of her rage, and Lily struggling with the emotional scars of betrayal. Their paths are now separate, shaped by the destructive power of unaddressed emotions and unresolved conflicts. Nothing can undo what's been done. Their futures, once filled with promise, now seem uncertain, and the friendships they cherished are lost forever. The lesson is clear. Unresolved pain and unspoken words can destroy everything, leaving behind only the haunting remnants of what once was.